Are you in fashion?
In fashion. Did you see what she's wearing?
Vuitton shoes. I'm Sonia Sly. My heels are killing me.
But I was told I have a backstage pass.
You will need to get the right pass to get behind me, ma'am.
Like, I need to go.
Code red. We have a situation.
I'm taking you inside the fashion industry to discuss trends, the reality behind the glamour, and the highs and lows of a fast-paced industry that never stops. At the bottom of Auckland's Anzac Ave, you'll find menswear label French 83, which shares a bright, airy space, unexpectedly, with a hair salon.
Hi, yes, nice to meet you too. So maybe I'll just
Walk past a man and woman getting their hair done and head towards the back of the room, where you'll find neatly placed racks and folded garments set against a natural wooden background with soft, warm lighting. It's intimate, and it's here where I meet designer Nicole Wessling. She was snapped up to work for the label, fresh out of design school.
So I've been with French 83 for just over 2 years now. Started in the start of 2015 after I graduated from Wycliffe in 2014.
Was it unexpected to be picked up straight away?
It was kind of unexpected. Like, I'd known Vivian and Peter from French 83 through doing the Restyle project, which is where Wycliffe works with French 83 on a project during the year. It was an ongoing relationship, but sort of just fell into place, really.
Wow, what is it about menswear? I mean, I saw the collection last year at New Zealand Fashion Week, and then just tailoring was just really modern and clean, just beautiful, but I guess there kind of references to older styles of menswear traditions.
I guess I don't have like a massive background in menswear, so I've come from a sort of outsider's perspective picking it up, so I think there's a lot of, in a way, maybe the women's wear influences in there as well. But I try to keep it quite creative, but also quite wearable as well.
What are the challenges in designing menswear and the tailoring that's involved?
Yeah, I actually quite like it. Men are really straightforward. They know what they want. Like, they want something practical and something that is easy to wear, easy to style. So there's none of the like frills and stuff that goes on in women's wear.
Are they fussier about the fit?
They are. Yeah, so
why are they so particular?
I think because they've got less to choose from. They don't do silhouettes. They do like just slim cut, regular cut. They don't sort of experiment as much as women do in terms of volume. So I think that's one thing that they're really particular about. But the things you can play with are like pockets, buttons and plackets and things like that. So it's really small details that I get to play around with.
And you do such a great job. Like, can you talk me through, I mean, I don't know, like a jacket where it has quite intricate tailoring or something?
One thing that is new to our collection is our James shirt, actually. And we've always had the problem of men not wanting to wear cufflinks, or some men wanting to wear cufflinks. So we've created a cuff that has both. So it's got the button that you can use, and if you want to dress up a little bit, it's got an extra buttonhole in there so you can put the cufflink through.
Good
so
thinking.
It's tiny details like that guys are into.
And I mean, you know, like I guess with kind of like even like formal wear and even kind of slightly more casual wear, I mean, like, you know, guys are probably more likely to use pocket squares and accessories and things now.
Yeah,
so.
Not very many New Zealanders do.
Right.
Because we also sell in China as well and Hong Kong, so kind of have to balance the designs for both markets.
So they're quite different then?
Yeah, well, in Hong Kong, a lot of our clients are actually European, so just getting a gauge on what men want. It's always changing. Like every season they want something different. So
what do men want? Yeah, what do men want? What do New Zealand? What do these? Because I mean, you know, primarily selling in Auckland.
Yeah.
But what do the guys here want?
They definitely want easy care, something like for shirts, like something you can throw in the washing machine, easy to iron, something that doesn't crease, so when they're traveling they don't have to worry about like their suits getting creased and things like that. So they're looking for practical things really, and things that can be easily styled, so you can just throw it on and it goes together.
I mean, in terms of, you know, working with fabrics that are a little bit more wash and wear, doesn't it sound as exciting as, say, working with silks or beautiful
I guess men don't really wear silks too much, but our cottons for our shirting is like really high quality, so it is not going to fall apart. I think that's what you get a lot in the industry is things falling apart, so you got to make sure it's high quality and like really nice fabrics. so that they do wear well.
Yeah. I mean, I actually didn't expect to see like a brushed cotton
Yeah.
sort of checkered sort of plaid shirt.
We're venturing out a little bit
Oh.
from our like work shirt, so it's more of a casual piece.
Is there a
Quite
bit of like
popular.
country,
Yeah.
the rural guy coming into the modern age
I
here?
think so, yeah. We're kind of heading more towards like the guy who's a corporate guy but that goes out on the weekends and has like another like social life. He's not just working all the time. Yeah.
Now, talk me through, you know, like, because I think what I thought was quite clever about the collection that you guys showed was that you traverse different styles. So I saw like a multitude of different types of guys. Some were sort of younger and hipper, and you can almost, you know, imagine them with like a skateboard, like with these kind of, you know, really smart sort of bomber jackets and these the beautiful lining inside as well. I mean, well, what are your influences?
Well, I guess the idea is that French 83 is for like a multitude of guys. Each season I sort of focus on a fictional character and imagine what they're going to do. So one season it was an architect, and then another season was a New Zealander graphics designer. So we kind of want to reach out to as many, a wide range of gentlemen as we can. So yeah, for the runway we made sure there were lots of different models. They all had an individual look, so we want to be able to style for each individual guy. It's not, you're not going to fit into a cookie cutter. Like we can help everyone.
For that presentation, did you work together? Like, who worked on the actual presentation of the show?
That was me.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like
So
the idea of the guys carrying
the
a
chairs.
store.
Yeah, that was fun. So we worked with Nathan Goldsworthy of Goldsworthy Studios, and he provided all the stools for us, which were really awesome, like super lightweight, easy to carry, and looked really sharp on the runway.
So, because basically they carried a different stall out, and then they'd like put them in a line, like down the runway, and then take a seat, and then they'd all get out one by one.
Carry them back off.
Yeah.
So it was actually quite a lot of sort of maths involved behind like thinking which model's going to sit on which chair, which guy's going to go back, does he have enough time to get changed, and all this kind of thing. So
this is a workshop up here, is it? Or?
yeah.
Okay.
Before my dad migrated to New Zealand, we were in the fashion industry, so it's kind of always been in the blood, I guess. And then so when
Vivian Cheng is the operations
he
manager for
decided
French
to
83, founded by her brother Peter, a former banker who's now based in China. And my first question for Vivian, who has a background in marketing, is
How do you kind of dream up an idea to start a menswear label? Because I always think it's the designer first who goes, I need to create my own label, you know?
Yeah, I guess coming from like a commercial background, we saw there was a missing piece in the market. Things here are quite mainstream and also mass produced. It was kind of really missing this boutique sort of idea, and so we felt like it's a really good business opportunity, and then we have fashion sort of background, so the two kind of come together. The brand kind of it reflects off Peter, so young professional, and that's our target audience.
French 83 has been around for 2 years?
The store's been around for 2 years, but the whole brand has been around for 5 years. When you start off a fashion label, isn't just we want to start and that's it. We spent about like 2 or 3 years just researching, going into China and finding different factories and ideas and inspiration.
The garments are not manufactured in New Zealand?
No, they're not. Yeah, but our design and sampling are all based here because there's actually a lot of high technology over in China at the moment, so they actually produce very good quality garments.
Do you think there are myths around producing clothing in China? Like, do you think there's still the reputation that you're not going to get as good quality if you're producing there?
Yeah, definitely, because China is such a big place. There's obviously going to be good and there's going to be bad, and I think when there's something bad happens, the media and everyone kind of focuses on that. But there's a lot of good quality factories and also designs in China because it's so big. There must be good and bad, right?
And was it about the technology more than... Because it's not like you're kind of having to produce mass amounts of garments.
Yeah, it was finding the right people and also the right fabric factories, like finding where to get good quality fabrics and also the right machinery. Obviously, with our stuff, we're quite boutique, so we need to find the people with the right skills to make it, sometimes with like hand stitch rather than just machinery. So, yeah.
How risky was it to sort of start a menswear label? I don't think there's enough menswear out there, to be honest. That's, some might say, well, guys, they don't really need much. The market's got what it needs already.
Any business has a risk. People think there are so many limitations with menswear that it kind of gives us the opportunities to kind of work on the fit or the quality rather than just chasing trends. We can be a lot more creative. There are so many rules around menswear that we can break and then make something different.
Especially now, because guys are definitely more adventurous, aren't they?
Yeah, I think especially with sort of more masculine like media stars like Kanye West or LeBron James talking about fashion on social media, I think it's more socially acceptable that guys do care about trend and style.
They care a lot, don't they?
Yeah,
I think.
Especially more these days, I think they're starting to really care about how they look and how they're getting perceived, especially in Beijing for us. In China, the GDP is growing, so there's a lot more mid-income earners. And so they have that sort of spending power to care about how they look and what they buy and their lifestyle.
Why the decision to market the product there as well?
Well, Beijing is sort of like a powerhouse for China, where there's a lot of startup and it's a very culture-rich place as well as commercial. For us, it was kind of a very obvious place we want to be in because fashion is very much about art and culture. So, yeah, Beijing was a really good place for us to start without getting completely sort of commercialised straight away because it's such a big place.
I mean, how have you found the market? How does that differ there to here?
They're a lot more conscious on what they buy. They ask a lot of questions.
Like what?
Like, what's the fabric made of? Or where does it come from? What's the, brand story? And they're quite conscious on following international trend. Whereas in New Zealand, I think the Kiwis here, they care more about, connecting to the brand and more about the vibe and service, and just really getting to know the brand before buying the products.
Interesting to think of New Zealand in an international context. I mean, Beijing is huge, and you definitely feel a sense of you can be whatever you want in a place like Beijing, and no one's going to look at you strangely for wearing a three-piece suit.
Yeah, that's why it's so good to sort of step outside of New Zealand. We love being in New Zealand, being a New Zealand brand, but just stepping outside on a much bigger sort of market, there's a lot more opportunities and a lot more different people we can sort of cater for.
With the idea for the brand, was it about creating something that did have more of an international feel? Because it doesn't distinctly scream New Zealand.
I think the brand is not just about fashion, so we want to be more like a lifestyle brand. So we're more about showing off the Kiwi goodness, so that includes culture, art, and even food. So the collection we just did, Oliver White collection, it was very much based on a young professional New Zealander. I think New Zealand, they're very black and drapey, we're kind of more clean cut. It's not just about fashion, it's more about the lifestyle that we want to promote overseas.
And is it working?
Yeah, it's working. In our Beijing store, it's such a good talking point because we've got Artisano Brothers in the Beijing cafe store over there. It's just a very good talking point, just talking about the good quality of New Zealand. We're very lucky because New Zealand does have that reputation of having good quality products and services.
How difficult is it to market a brand that's quite distinct, that has its own signature, in a market that is just generally fast and furious? Is it working on Instagram?
Yeah.
What's your approach?
Just not to get wound up in all of that. It's just really sticking true to the brand. So we want to make sure the quality is still there. And I'm sure over time people will start appreciating that.
And do you actually love menswear?
Yeah, I do. At first, I must say women's wear was definitely more my thing because obviously I'm a girl. But slowly, ever since I started doing French 83, I think I noticed a lot more about menswear that I appreciate, more about quality rather than just blindly chasing what's on trend right now. And just learning about fit is also so important.
That was Vivian Cheng, and you also heard designer Nicole Wessling for menswear label French 83. You've been listening to My Heels Are Killing Me. I'm Sonia Sly. To find out more or to listen again, head to our podcast page on the rnz.co.nz website.